All right, Apple iPhone 17 Pro versus the Apple iPhone Air. Now, if you're like me, you're probably trying to decide which of these phones to buy, right? I was big time on the fence whether I want the 17 Pro or the Air, and I will tell you, just to cut this video short, that my choice is going to be the Air. And the biggest reason behind that is this phone feels new. And what I mean by that is not just like new 2025, but this is a new experience. This thinness and the lightweight and the fact that it's a slightly bigger screen, right, than the Pro, this feels like a new phone. It feels like something different. This feels like Apple when Apple actually made changes to their design model. And what I mean by that is that this phone feels just like every other Pro that's been out for probably the last 5 years. I think going back all the way to the 13. I think the 13 was the first one with the 3 cameras, or maybe it was the 12. I don't know, but a long time ago, right? Granted, the aluminum does feel different in your hand. It feels a little bit lighter, and it just has a different tactile sensation, right? Compared to the titanium and to the stainless phones from a few years ago. I won't say that I don't like it. I will say that people have been reporting that they've been cracking, that the anodization has been coming off, right? So that's something to be aware of. If you use a case, then you're kind of ruining that aesthetic and that ergonomic component of the phone anyway. I don't run cases on my phones because I don't feel like they need them. I like the way they feel in my hand without them. But when I first bought these phones, I was initially thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna just try the Air and then, probably end up with the Pro. But that's not at all what ended up happening. So as I use these phones, right, I tend to pick up the Air more often because it's a different experience, because this phone is so thin and so light and feels just so much different than what I've been doing for the past 5+ years. Right, of holding these bricks that have the same form factor. This is just a much better designed product. Like, I think that Apple is on something here, and I think that this is going to be the new standard for them. I think that the more people that use this, the more people are going to realize that this is the future. Thin, light, that can do most things, right? One camera. This is the way that things are going to go. You're going to see the iPhone 17 lineup move to the Air is what I feel like is going to happen. I think the Pros will end up staying kind of similar. They may change a few things, but for the most part, this is where we're going to see the direction of Apple go. Obviously, if you're looking to purchase either of these two phones, the biggest difference, right, between these is the camera system and the battery life. The 3 camera array here versus the 1 camera, significantly better battery life in the Pro than in the Air. But do you need that? That's up to you, right? The camera quality, the quality of the photos come out about the same, but what you're missing between these two phones when you talk about the cameras are the ability to have that ultra wide angle lens and the telephoto, right? So if you don't need the ultra wide angle lens and the telephoto, the Air is going to be a great choice for you. The quality of the camera is still fantastic, but the Pro does offer that ultra wide and telephoto lens, which is a huge benefit, especially if you have children like myself. That's the one thing I really miss out on when I use the Air, is the camera system. Battery life, again, depends on what you're doing with the phone. Much bigger battery in here. Both do have MagSafe charging and quick charging with USB-C, so you can charge these both up really fast using either a plug or a MagSafe adapter. Other things to consider if you're on the fence between these two, really, the sort of breakability bend tests of this phone have gone really well. So people say that this phone is nearly indestructible, whereas the aluminum shell on this has been cracking, it has been scratching. Just something to consider. Pricing is very similar on both of these devices. I think they're within $100 or less between the two of them when you start speccing them out. So for me, again, the Air is my choice. I just really love it. I really love the feel and the fit and the finish. But if I was a Pro user, I wanted to get the most out of my camera system, the most out of my battery life, then this is going to be the phone for you. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.